All right. Welcome to Broadcast USFFL as we have a doubleheader of action coming up. Let's go ahead and give me a second here to get this posted out there for everybody. 1 second. All right. Well, that could have been a better image. All right. Let's go ahead and get the link to the broadcast posted out there, shall we? All right. So now that's posted out there. Let's get the view back to full screen. Make sure I've got everything set here. I'm in and not on mute, full screen. Let's bring the game up, and we should be good to go as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers find themselves with a critical 4th and 1. Look what we've stumbled upon. Carolina Panthers at home are leading the Bucs here, 3-0. But the Bucs with a big 4th down and 1 at the Panthers 11-yard line. They're going 2 tight end formation here. Panthers guessing run, but it's a hitch over the middle. Mike Evans has it. That's a first down inside the 5-yard line. And a 1st and goal there for Tampa Bay. We have 54 seconds remaining here in the first half. We'll kind of summarize this first quarter after we conclude this series here. Full house formation for the Bucs. They're going to run. Ronald Jones off tackle into the end zone for the touchdown. Got the defense guessing pass. And Ronald Jones ran it right in at the 36th second mark remaining in the first quarter. Extra point is good. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have jumped out in front of the Carolina Panthers 7-3 on the road. Looks like the opening possession in this game went to the Buccaneers. 6 plays punt. They also had 5 plays and turned over on downs the next time before this touchdown drive. Looks like the Panthers have the game's turnover. They had a fumble to set up that touchdown drive. So points off turnovers have the Bucs up by 4, 7-3. 1st and 10 at the 25 for the Panthers now. Here comes a run up the middle. Christian McCaffrey, he's got 4 yards on the defensive card. On 2nd and 6, Panthers are going to split out 3 wide receivers. Bucs in a 3-4. Defense is guessing run, but it's a pass short to DJ Moore. He's got it. 1st down and a personal foul on Tampa. So tack on 15 more, and that's going to get the Panthers across midfield. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Second quarter action here in Carolina. Three wide receiver, 2 running back formation again here for Carolina. Hitch over the middle, right back to DJ Moore. There's 2 men in the zone, and that's incomplete. Base 3-4 defense for Tampa. Opens with a couple of linebackers in the look-in zone. Coach Vince Trivelpiece kept them there. Of course, the incompletion. 2nd and 10 here for Carolina. Same formation. 3 wide receiver, 2 running backs for Carolina. Nickel defense from the D. Here's a little flare out to the side and a 3-yard loss. Sam Darnold hit Chuba Hubbard, who was brought down immediately. That's going to make it a 3rd and 13. Panthers at the Tampa 46-yard line. They're going to split out 4 wide receivers now. Darnold from the shotgun. Single setback McCaffrey. Defense guesses pass. It's a dump pass and incomplete. There is a holding call. It's against Carolina. And so I assume that's going to be declined. And it is. So 4th and 13 for the Panthers at the 46-yard line of Tampa. Hunter's coming out. And he's going to shank that down to the 11-yard line on the coffin corner. Pretty good kick. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will take over right there. Still leading in this one, 7-3, 13-12 left in the first quarter. Ronald Jones stays in as the tailback in a blocking back formation. Defense in a 4-3. Bucs coming into this game with an 8-6 record. You can see it right here. Panthers down here with a 6-8 record. Clinging to their playoff lives. They're certainly going to need to win all three to even have a chance. Buccaneers, on the other hand, right on the verge of both the division leader as well as a wild card spot. So Vince got a lot going on here as far as opportunities, whereas Jess Geller really doesn't have a margin for error. He's got to get some good fortune and win them all down the road here. Although he has already qualified for Coach of the Year tournament. Here's a run up the middle to Ronald Jones, 4 yards on the defensive card. That's exactly enough to get a first down. Out to the 21-yard line now. Back-to-back runs for Ronald Jones. Moves the chains. And now on 1st and 10, Vince has Brady split out with 4 wide receivers. He's in the shotgun. Fournette's the tailback. Panthers drop into a nickel. Got him looking for pass, but it's a run up the middle. Fournette. And that's another 4-yard pickup. So 2nd and 6 now. Tampa at the 25. This game, I believe, one of 2 games these teams are going to play in the final few weeks. Ronald Jones off tackle going to the left for just 3 yards. And that's going to get us to a 3rd down and 3. 4 consecutive run calls. The coach Vince Treble piece. Big 3rd and 3. Fournette's going to stay in the game. As your tailback in the blocking back formation. 4-3 shown here by the Panthers. Panthers looking to get that 3rd down stop here. And it's going to be a pitch out to the right. Lenny Fournette's going to try to get the corner, and he's got exactly 3 yards. And for the 2nd consecutive series, just enough yardage to move the chains. 6 plays, 20 yards. It's 1st and 10 Tampa now at their 31-yard line. Defense guessing run again, crosses him up. Vince passing. Brady to Mike Evans. He's got it, 16 yards and a 1st down. That was 3 men in zone on the defensive card. Receiver result. And with the defense guess and run, Mike Evans knows what to do with that. Got a 16-yard completion. Tampa's out to their 47 now, 1st and 10. And after 4 or 5 consecutive runs, Coach Vince caught Jess Geller finally looking for pass. Here's a short pass again to Chris Godwin. This time the defense is guessing pass. Brady's flushed out of the pocket. He's looking for another target, and he's eyeing up Ronald Jones, and he's going to pick up, let's see, looks like 1st down yardage, 15. Ronald Jones, not the best receiver. He ended up hitting a plus 23 on the defensive card, but had his gain capped at 15. His max. Still, 1st down reception. 9 minutes left here in the 2nd quarter. Bucs now, 1st and 10 at the Carolina 38-yard line. Ronald Jones will stay in the game here on this series. He's the blocking back here. Brady right back to Ronald Jones. It's a screen, and this time they brought him down right away. Loss of a yard. Don't see back-to-back pass plays to Ronald Jones too often, but try to sneak it in there. First one was good. This one loses a yard. It's 2nd and 11. So now 3 wide receivers split out for Tampa. Defense in the nickel. Brady back to pass, looking short. Chris Godwin. We got a defender result, and it's incomplete. A 4 on the white die. And that was good enough for A.J. Boye to make the play there for the Panthers. And that's going to force a 3rd down and 11. Tampa at the Carolina 39-yard line. They are already up 7-3 midway through the second quarter. 3 wide receivers again splitting out on this 3rd down. Brady in the shotgun. Dime defense being presented here by the Panthers. Defense gets his pass. It is slant to the tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And we have another defender possibility, and it's incomplete. Jeremy Chin makes the play. And that makes it 4th and 11 at the 39-yard line of Carolina. And from here, he's going to go for it on 4th and 11. Field goal range for Ryan Suckup only goes out to 37, and it's not good range anyway. So here comes a 4th and 11 at the Carolina 39. 3 wide receivers are split out for Tampa. Brady in the shotgun. Dime defense here from the Panthers. Brady back to pass. He's looking short to Antonio Brown. He is double teamed successfully, and it's still complete. 12 yards. Great call by the defensive coordinator, Jess Geller of the Panthers. Double teamed Antonio Brown successfully, but Brady hits one of 2 automatic completions on his card. Move the chains again. This drive moves on. 1st and 10 at the Carolina 27. Here's an off-tackle run. Ronald Jones loses a couple of yards. 2nd and 12 after the defense sniffs out that play with a run call. 5 first downs on this drive now for Tampa. 12 plays into the drive. And on 2nd and 12, Bucs are going to split out 3 wide receivers. Brady in the shotgun again. He's back to pass, looking short to Rob Gronkowski. But he's flushed out of the pocket. And Brady zeroing in on the defensive card. 13 yards. First down catch to Antonio Brown. Into the red zone. 1st and 10 at the Panthers 16-yard line. 6:36 to go here in the second. Bucs on the move. We welcome Anthony to the broadcast.
Hey, you doing, Tim?
How's it going, buddy?
Doing okay.
There's a false start on the Bucs. Back them up 5, 1st and 15. Back out to the 21. Free safety back in play. Might let me know if you see that Green Bay game kicking off, because I'll be jumping over there periodically, I think.
Alrighty.
Might see about the technical stability tonight of running them both.
Cool.
Coach Triple Piece right back out to his 3 wide receiver formation. Fournette is the tailback. And on 1st and 15, defense gets his run, but it's a button hook over the middle, incomplete. It was actually a interception split roll on Brady's card, the only place you can get that incompletion. So good break for the Panthers on that play. 2nd and 15 now. Still at the 21. Both teams present the same formation. And Brady's right back to pass. He's looking short. This time it's to Antonio Brown. Flushed out of the pocket, though. He's looking for another receiver. Mike Evans is the target. And Brady on his card presents a yak opportunity. Just a yard pickup there. Mike Evans. I think he's a D if I'm not mistaken. And he's actually an E on the yak rating. So not where his strength lies. 3rd and 14. at the 20-yard line now. We already looked at how Succop's range is really bad deep, but I believe once he gets down into this range, he's as good as any other kicker, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Nevertheless, from here, 2 to 9 and 12. Keyshawn Vaughn comes in as the tailback. Pass blocking specialist. Keeping an eye on Hassan Reddick, I think, among others. Yeah, Reddick's got a star rating. And back to pass. Looking short again is Brady. Flushed again as the pressure gets through. And Brady's going to pick up 9 on the defensive card with 0 men. So had an opportunity to get some rolls there. Couldn't quite get the first. 4th and 5 now at the 11. And Succop's going to come out, and he's going to boot through a 28-yard field goal.
Boy, if those Panthers don't bring the pressure, I saw 3 zeros there on the pass rush chart.
Yeah, Panthers do have a pretty good blitz.
But just 3 coming that time, right? On 3rd and long.
So that was an 18-play drive, 83 yards, 6 first downs. And the Bucs had to settle for a field goal. So in some ways, you can count that as a victory for the Panthers. Staying within 7. Now 5 minutes and 6 seconds left here before halftime. They're going to open in their 3 wide receiver, 2 running back formation. Square out here to DJ Moore, and he's going to pick up 8. And the Panthers continue to trot out this 3 wide receiver, 2 running back formation to capitalize on their 2-headed running back, McCaffrey and Hubbard. And on 2nd and 2, they're still putting 3 wide receivers out there. It's an off tackle to Hubbard. Hubbard picks up 4 and a first down. Out to the 37-yard line. Tampa 137 to 89. And Panthers have the game's only turnover. An earlier fumble. And a 1st and 10. Here comes a screen to tailback Christian McCaffrey, and he's got himself a completion and a good roll on the your short yardage gain chart. 19-yard pickup out of the backfield. And that gets the Panthers across midfield to the Tampa 44-yard line. Big play with 3:18 left to go here in the first half. Another square out, this time to DJ Moore. 1 man in zone. And that's going to be a loss of a yard. It was a receiver opportunity. DJ Moore did not get a good roll on his card. 2nd and 11. Both these teams coming in relatively hot, winning some of their recent games. We'll take a look at that in a second here. Now, 2nd and 11. Here's going to be a pitch out to the tailback. McCaffrey caught the defense looking pass, and he's going to get himself 5 yards as a 6 on the white dice is going to beat the defensive end in Ndamukong Suh. So 3rd and 6 now at the Tampa 40-yard line. And on 3rd and 6, let's see what we've got here. Sorry. That would be unfortunate if I have to reopen the game, but I may have to. Yeah, let's go ahead and plan on doing that. Exit the program. Okay. Whoops, that's not what we wanted.
So while you're doing that, Tim, to talk about Tampa's improvement, they were down at 31st, 32nd in guessed right passing. They've popped up now to 27th, which is kind of a move this late in the season.
Yeah.
So now sub 90% at 89. So that's trending the right way, and that would often trend with success on the field. All these teams have interesting stats, and it's like, which one do you pick? But I
That's
find
so
it
true.
fascinating that Tampa gets run on 42% of the time. That's the fifth highest run rate against in the league. I don't care what your record is. When you have those cards, this excellent run D.
That's what I thought. I was thinking they have a good run D.
And they're getting run on 42% of the time. It matters who you play, your schedule. There's so many factors that go into it. But
the other thing is they don't
average,
have a blitz to speak of, which should increase the willingness of teams to pass on them.
Yeah, bottom 5 in all the sack categories. Bottom 5 sack contest, bottom 5 sack win percentage, bottom 5.
Those are some of the stats that I look at weekly.
Yeah.
There's an incompletion on a deep ball to Antonio Brown. Tom Brady facing a 3rd and 10 at his own 33. Yeah, it's surprising to me to hear that.
Yeah. 28th short pass, 31st long pass against just 4%. It makes me want to check the stat, really, because it's hard to believe it. And I'm going to check it.
That's it, folks. Real-time statistical look up here in the USFFL. Here's a dump pass to Evans for 7. It's going to bring up a 4th and 3. And with 1:37 to go, let the clock run down to 1 and punt this ball away.
That's right, Tim. All season long, 36 long passes thrown against this defense.
Wow.
Incredible.
There's a big punt down inside the 10-yard line, taken there by Erickson. Fair catch. And with just 60 seconds left here in the first half, Tampa up by a touchdown, 10-3. Panthers take over at their 9. So we'll see how aggressive they want to be. They're not really built to go 90-plus yards in 60 seconds. But they are opening with 3 wide receivers, and Tampa's going to go ahead and be conservative, sitting back in the dime. Off tackle run, pick up a 4. We'll see if they both want to let the clock run. And Tampa's going to take their first time out and start angling to force a punt. 2nd and 6 at the 13 now for Carolina. 52 seconds left. Tampa wanting to make it a 3 and out. We'll see if they want it bad enough to keep everybody up close. Here's a little flat pass out to the left side, attacking a 0-rated linebacker, and incomplete. Chuba Hubbard couldn't get it. It actually hit 0 men card on the defensive side, and a bunch of completions and 2 receiver results. Got the receiver, got the incompletion, and that saves a timeout for Tampa Bay. 3rd and 6 now. Carolina at the 13. Defense gets his pass, pitch out to Amir, and he's going to get just 3 yards. It was actually the 6 yards he needed by the card, but that run was capped for low usage. Running back containment rule. And 37 seconds left here. Tampa takes their second timeout. And here comes the punt from the 16, and it's a bad one. 34-yard punt at the 50. It is fielded by Jalen Darden. Fair caught there. So 22 seconds left before halftime. Tampa has 1 timeout. And they're going to start this possession at the 50. Absolutely not a good time to roll an 11 on the punt by Lack Edwards. So let's see what Tampa's going to do with this before halftime. Already up 7. They'd like to tack on with a field goal here. 3 wide receivers split out. Defense in the dime. Brady back to pass, looking short and complete. Antonio Brown was the target. And found the blank spot on the 4-man defensive card, 2nd and 10. Still seeing 20 seconds showing on the clock, and that's confusing me, but let's see if maybe we locked up here. Nope. Yep, still full screen, just making sure. So 2nd and 10 here. 3 wide receivers split out. Again, defense in the nickel. And Brady's throwing short to Godwin, and that's good for 15. He does not get out of bounds. So he is at the 35-yard line of Carolina, and he's probably going to have to call a timeout. That'd be 15 seconds left. He could spike it for 8 seconds. Yeah, maybe he does need to spike it. The play is at the 35.
Yeah. Spike away. The down. You're
out.
not going to use all your downs. Spike away. You took a
timeout.
Okay. So the times seem to be a little bit more valuable. I mean, the downs are
probably about the same thing because I think at 15 seconds here, you still have time to get a first down and spike it now. So I think it's probably about the same thing.
And it would have gone to 8 seconds if you spiked. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. All right,
so you would have been able to throw one pass and then call your timeout.
Yep.
About the same thing probably here. But he does need a few yards. If you do it that way, then maybe you can run it because you only need a few yards. You try to run around the end.
Right. Who gets the ball? Third quarter?
That's going to be, if memory serves, Carolina.
Okay.
3 wide receivers split out here, and he's going to target Antonio Brown. Short pass. He's got him. 15 yards and out of bounds at the 20. 6 on the white die again. Beats a Carolina corner. This time it beats Stephen Gilmore. And with 8 seconds left, 1st and 10 at the 20. Here comes the field goal attempt. It is good from 37 yards. Ryan Suckup extends the lead to 10 points. Bucs up on Panthers, 13-3. Onside kick with 1 second left. There's some laundry on the field, so let's sort that out.
Now, if you can get the ball there and
that's a good point.
Get another play, I gotta run that out in manual dice. Curious.
So that's going to be halftime here in Carolina. The home team's trailing 13-3. Looks like they're going to take a 2-minute break, which is a good enough time for me to look because I wanted to see. I think both these teams are coming in at least a little bit on the warm side. Bucs are 8-6, but they had lost 3 straight games once upon a time. They are now currently, though, on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game winning streak. So once upon a time, the Bucs were 3-6, and they have now improved to 8-6. And although they do not have a wild card position in their grasp at present, they are literally the first or second team right off the edge of that. So they're definitely in the hunt there. As a matter of fact, they're only a half game out on the division race now as well. So a nice 5-game win streak there for them. Panthers have been a little warm too. 3 wins in a row, as you can see, for Carolina to get them from 3-8 to 6-8. And that's important for Carolina because every one of those was kind of an elimination game for them. You're looking at their division standings here. And at 6-8, Carolina probably not much in line for that division like the Bucs could be. But they are in line possibly for a wild card. You see them here at 6-8. That really is kind of the basement of your opportunity in the NFC. When you see them, trailing that many teams, you can figure that Carolina is going to need to win all 3 of their remaining games. And memory serves, I believe 2 of them are against the Buccaneers. Double checking that now.
What's nice about Carolina's position, I mean, it's not a high percentage chance to make the playoffs, but as you look at even the division leaders, a lot of teams with 8 wins. So they have 6 wins. And obviously, you're going to need some of those teams to lose out. I mean, they might be playing each other, which might make it impossible. But even the division leaders have some 8-win spots. So it's not just the wild card guys. So people could if you get a couple guys to lose 3 in a row, maybe you're back in. Maybe. I mean, it's obviously not a high probability. But yeah, look at the Falcons. Look at the Giants. I mean, they're 8 wins, and you got the tie with the Falcons, of course. But Cowboys, Vikings, Bucs.
And the other thing is that, knowing the tiebreakers like I do, hypothetically, if the Falcons, let's say, go ahead and win that division, then you're going to be trying to get a wild card. And if you are the Panthers trying to get a wild card at 9-8, you can't. I know from looking at tie breaks that the first step in any wild card tie break that has a whole bunch of teams in it is we need to whittle this down to only the best team from each division. So before we look at these multiple teams across divisions, run your division tie break and get rid of everybody that isn't the top team in that divisional tie break. So when you start there, the fact that if the Panthers get to 9-8, it means that they have beaten the Buccaneers twice and swept that series and put the Buccaneers at 8 losses, puts them in a much better position to eclipse the Buccaneers in that tiebreak scenario if they can win out here.
Yeah, and going over, I mean, I really appreciate all the stuff you do posting these things up. Going over to the division, you can see that Carolina, the odds aren't quite as good as you might hope because of those tiebreaker losses there you see against the Eagles, Giants. Those two stick out.
Yeah.
Saints as well.
Vikings.
I guess they'll get again next week. So they got some tiebreaker losses in there.
They certainly do. A 2-7 in the NFC is really painful. I would say, that means the best they can be is 5-7 conference. They're going to have to win all three, and if they do, I would estimate their chances at somewhere in the neighborhood of 10%. It's still pretty slim.
Yeah.
But it's hope, and there are plenty of us teams out there that's all we got. So, matter of fact, that would be everybody except for 4. We think we have 4 teams that have clinched the division, or clinched playoff berth at this point, I should say. As you alluded to, the Panthers are getting the opening possession of the second half.
Look at that, a sack right on cue.
William Golston. I may be wrong. I think that they may only have like 6 sacks as a team this year.
Yeah, I've got it here somewhere.
They just don't get to the quarterback much.
Yeah, that was their 6th.
That was their 6th. Between the two of us, we know some stuff. I know the charts that I work, and you know the charts that you're working. There's an 11-yard scramble by Darnold, and that gets a lot of that sack yardage back. Now 3rd and 8, Panthers at their 33. Still, that sack is just devastating because Panthers, tough to work from behind the sticks. Here's a little short pass to McCaffrey. He was double teamed. Give credit to defensive coach there, Vince Trivelpiece, as he snuffs out that drive with a critical 3rd down call. It's 4th and 8. Panthers are going to punt. There's a 45-yard punt by Edwards to the 22. No return there by Darden. And Tampa will get their first drive of the second half here, already up 13-3. Fournette's going to open the second half at tailback. And I believe that Tampa leads the league in pass attempts. Isn't that right?
Let's see.
There's an off-tackle run for Fournette. White Dye is going to beat the tackle, and it's 6 yards on 1st down, 2nd and 4.
Pass attempts, they are number 2 coming into this week.
Yeah. I wonder, because I was thinking about them possibly being in the position to need to run out the clock, and I know in real life they struggle to do that a little bit, and thought they also are one of the high pass attempt teams for us here as well.
Well, certainly number 2 is pretty darn high. Yeah.
Sorry?
Number 2 is pretty darn high. And I would imagine they used to be 1 over these last couple of weeks and trending downward a little bit, which sort of goes with that guessed right passing percentage coming down.
2nd and 4, Coach Trivelpiece was thinking deep, but Brady converted to a dump pass to Evans, picked up 4 yards, got the 1st down. Or I should say 5 yards on 2nd and 4. 1st and 10 now. Bucs at the 33. Run up the middle on 1st down, Ronald Jones, and he's got a short gain on his card, 16 yards, out near midfield to the 49-yard line. Carolina's out rushed The Bucs 78-65 in this game, but Tom Brady with double up the pass yards on Sam Darnold. Here's another run up the middle. Nothing doing on this one. Coach Jess Keller makes the run call and stops that play cold. So 2nd and 10. Coach Jess Geller has, I believe we saw, already made the Coach of the Year tournament if he fails to make the playoffs. I believe that's the case here. Tom Brady to Rob Gronkowski on that play. Pick up a 14 yards. And it's to the 37-yard line of Carolina, 1st and 10. And indeed, right there, Panthers showing green, so they will be able to be in the Coach of the Year tournament if they do not run the table and make the USFFL playoffs. 7-yard run right at the middle, Ronald Jones. 2nd and 3 as the Bucs again are on the march. They just put together an 18-play scoring drive, but settled on a field goal. Just before halftime, it looks like. Where did it go? There it is. Incomplete pass. O.J. Howard couldn't make the receiver conversion, and it's 3rd and 3 at the Carolina 30. Lenny Fournette's going to be your 3rd down tailback here. Defense guesses run, but it's a quick out. And that's going to be a 4-yard loss on the defensive card. 1 man in zone. Hit the number you want to see when you're on defense. And that's a huge loss because it makes it 4th and 7 at the 34. Drops the Bucs into the long field goal range. If they're not going to get the variable boost, it's like a 2-3. So Vince Tribblepiece predictably is going to go for it here. 4th and 7 at the Carolina 34. They're up by 10 points. Big play for Carolina to try to stay in this game. By the way, injury on that last play, Daquan Jones of the Panthers. Fourth and 7, 3 wide receivers split out. Fournette's the tailback, Brady in the shotgun. Back to pass. Brady's looking short to Mike Evans. Defense guessed pass, but they did not double Evans. Needing 7 yards, Brady flushed out of the pocket. He is looking for Antonio Brown. He's got nothing doing. -1 on the play and a bad roll. It was 0 men on the defensive card. So plenty of opportunities. In fact, the only way you don't get a first down on 4th and 7 is to hit the receiver result. And that's what he got. Even still, he had multiple opportunities to get it. Couldn't do it. And the ball goes back to the Panthers. 1st and 10, 5, and Darnold almost throws a pick. Go ahead.
I had a sneaking suspicion that dump-offs were important to this. And I realized that for some reason I didn't have those ranks by team right in front of me, so I just quickly put them together. Tampa Bay leads the league in dump-off margin.
Explain dump-off margin.
So they've gotten 92 dump-off attempts, and they've only given up 43, plus 49. On defense,
92 dump-off attempts offensively.
Yep, and 43 defensively.
Huh.
So they get themselves in those advantageous dump-off positions more than anybody else in the league.
What is the mechanism to have more of those?
Oh, you're throwing short, and you have a good offensive line, and you don't give up the sack, and it goes to dump-off. And they got the dump-off there as you have a completion here. I'll let you call that.
That's first down, 10-yard completion.
And on that
Terrence Marshall as the Panthers are out to the 45-yard line.
As I was finishing the calculation, it's like, okay, I bet this is a dump-off. And boom, it's a dump-off, but they get a bad roll. So they've been feasting on it all year. It just bit them bit him at the wrong time.
Yeah, that's interesting because he's not exactly blessed with great yak people. I think
Well,
Chris Godwin's pretty good.
Well, yeah, I mean, that doesn't indicate the yards you're getting. But in terms of
Sure.
dump off opportunities, you want to have dump off opportunities. You
Oh,
want those zero
definitely.
men flat pass
Definitely.
as much as you can get it. And anybody who's up at the top of short pass and long pass attempts should be toward the top of dump offs for. Just it'll always sort of trend that way. And of course, Tampa is a big
Makes
short
sense.
passing team.
2nd and 10, Carolina at their own 45-yard line. 2 tight end formation here. First I've seen that in a while. Chuba Hubbard's your tailback.
Yeah.
And they're double teaming DJ Moore, but it's a slant to Tommy Tremble, tight end. Darnold is flushed out of the pocket, though, and there's that dump off you were talking about. And Chuba Hubbard capitalizes 23 yards on the defensive card out of the backfield for Hubbard.
Not to be outdone by much, Carolina is 6th in the league in dump off margin.
Really? So there are 5 teams that actually have a bigger margin on that.
Yep. In terms of attempts. Now, you and I always talk about 2 short pass defenses in particular on our shows. I'll let you go here.
There's a little 4-yard dump pass to Chuba Hubbard again. Back-to-back passes to him. 2nd and 6 as the Panthers at the 28 continue to march into field goal range and approaching the red zone of the Bucs.
And we talk about the vulnerability of the short pass of Washington and Baltimore, don't we? Pretty often.
Oh, yes. Washington especially, yeah.
And those are your 2 bottom teams tied for worst in terms of dump off margin, negative 35 attempts.
Sure. So that's being generated by the bait, making people want to throw short a lot.
Yep.
3rd straight screen pass to Chuba Hubbard, and this time the Bucs sniff it out. That's picked off. Stepping in front of it is Shaq Barrett. And this course has some extra return possibilities, and it's brought back just 11 yards, but a big turnover here, the 2nd of the game, both by the Panthers. And that's going to give the Bucs the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 38, 5:06 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And we have a game number in Green Bay if you want.
Okay. I'll keep an eye on that and probably come over there real soon. Run up the middle for 5 yards. 2nd and 5, Tampa at their 43. Wow. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drives for the Panthers, a grand total of 7 first downs. They had 5 first downs on their opening drive, 7 in the last 7 drives. Bucs defense tightening up. Little 2-yard run right at the middle by Ronald Jones sets up a 3rd and 3 for the Bucs. Fournette comes back in on 3rd down. I think Lenny has the A-rated yak. He does. Here comes a quick into the tight end, though. O.J. Howard. And his little receiver, O.J. Howard, gets 10. Nice roll there. Howard doesn't exactly have an explosive card, but Vince Trivialpiece hits the number. And the Bucs continue to move the ball across midfield now at the 45 of Carolina. Feels like they are owning time of possession in this one, but let's see here. About a 6-minute edge, 23 to 17 minutes. And now they're looking deep. Mike Evans is the target. We've got an empty zone, but flushed out of the pocket is Brady. And a 7-yard pickup. 0 men in zone on the defensive card. So 2nd and 3. As O.J. Howard makes another reception there. Ronald Jones comes back in this short yardage situation. O.J. Howard's the blocking back in front of him. Back to pass, looking deep, targeting Mike Evans. And once again, too much pressure, flushed out of the pocket. Once again, 0 men on the defensive card, and O.J. Howard has the completion yet again. Howard has himself a long game. We'll see. Oh, he cannot. I didn't think he could. Just a 21-yard reception. The die would have been 63, so just a bad break that O.J. Howard was the target on that one. But it does get into the red zone. 1st and 10, Buccaneers now at the 17-yard line. Ronald Jones still your tailback here. He's going to run it right up the middle into a pass defense on his card. He's got another short gain. Ronald Jones rumbling, bumbling into the red. Oh, down inside the 10. But there is a penalty, and we're going to have to wipe it off. Big break for the Panthers. Bucs flagged for holding. 1st and 20, back at the 27-yard line. 2:06 to go here in the third quarter. So as we approach the fourth, that's maybe the Panthers can keep them out of the end zone and settle on a field goal attempt here. Here's a screen to Lenny Fournette. Yak opportunity, and he's going to lose a yard. As Lenny Fournette did not get a good roll on that yak chart. 2nd and 21 now. At the 28-yard line of Carolina. Tom Brady on the day, 23 of 34, just 197 yards passing. Defense guessing pass, but it's a run up the middle. Fournette, 5 yards. Defensive tackle Bravion Roy got beat by the white dive for a 5-yard pickup, but it's still 3rd and 16 at the 23-yard line. 3 wide receivers are now going to split out for Brady. None of these guys average 16 per catch. It's going to be a run up the middle to Fournette, and there's going to be an injury on that play. Carolina's Shaq Thompson is hurt, and he's going to miss a couple of games.
Oh, that's hurt.
Yeah, here comes a field goal attempt on 4th and 15, and it is good. 2 through 8 is what he needed. He got the 8, so Suckup slips it through. And with 18 seconds left here in the third quarter, Bucs extend their lead to 16-3. So Shaq Thompson, isn't that one of his star outside blitzers?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's not a pass rusher, but he takes up space. He takes up some great space. You just don't have to worry about Shaq. You just let him go. I think he's a 5'5", maybe a 5'6", but yeah, you just let him go. He doesn't pass rush, but
1st and 10, here comes a screen play. 7-yard pickup to Amir Abdullah. And that makes it 2nd and 3 at the 31. We're into the fourth quarter now. Panthers at home, division game, trailing by 13. We've seen them come from behind. They can get it done. But it's got to be methodically in most cases. Although the Bucs don't have, like I said, a great blitz. On 2nd and 3, defense guessing pass, and they are passing. Back to pass is Darnold. He is flushed. And a yak opportunity for Robbie Anderson going nowhere. He's going to lose a yard, and it's 3rd and 4. Not since the opening drive of the game have the Panthers gained more than 37 yards on a drive. There's a short pass incomplete. Tampa's flagged for a 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down. Panthers need that break. They'll take the break. 1st and 10 at their own 35. Here's an off tackle. Chuba Hubbard. And Hubbard on the defensive card hits a short gain and a nice roll too. 19-yard pickup. There is a flag, and that's going to be brought back. And a 15-yard penalty at boot as there was a clipping charged against the Panthers. So wipe that 19-yard gain off instead. A 15-yard penalty. 1st and 25 Panthers at their 20-yard line. Darnold back to pass, short to Tommy Tremble, 11-yard completion. 2nd and 14 now. Panthers out to the 31-yard line. Another short pass by Darnold. This one's incomplete, and it's going to be 3rd and 14. You know what? We're going to go to the other game, but let's see this 3rd down here first. Panthers will split out 4 wide receivers in the shotgun formation, and it's going to be a pass to the tailback, Amir Abdullah. It's going to be a must run, actually. And Darnold's going to pick up a nice 9 yards, but it's not enough. Let's see if he's interested in going for it. 4th and 5, Panthers at their own 40. They're still only down 13. I'm pretty sure in this field position you're going to punt this away. And, of course, I am wrong. How you like the call, Anthony? I don't know if you're...
I'm not watching, sorry.
4th and 5, Panthers at their own 40. 12:36 to go, down 13. They are going.
Yeah, you got to go. I mean, you wish you had another yard. But now he's going to be guessing pass.
He is guessing pass, and it's short to the tailback, Chuba Hubbard.
Looking for that dump off, if not a completion.
Would be a good time for a dump off. He does get it. It is to Brandon Zylstra, and it's 0-man defensive card, a 9-yard pickup, and a clutch first down by Darnold. 1st and 10 at the Carolina 49.
A theme here today on dump offs, aren't we?
Yeah, we really are establishing that a little bit here. 12 minutes left here in the game. Off tackle and a 4-yard pickup. Here on the play to Michael Jordan of the Panthers. Their 4th player out in this game. Wow. Shaq Thompson and Brian Burns out for this game.
Oof.
Hubbard the tailback in a 2 tight end formation. Darnold back to pass again, looking short. DJ Moore, he's got it. 13 yards, but yet again, the penalty on the play. Holding on Carolina, back it up. Now 2nd and 16, Carolina back at their own 43. Second and 16, square out here to DJ Moore, trying to hit the playmaker. Here comes the yak opportunity for DJ. And not a bad pickup here, 9-yard net. Across midfield at the 48 of Tampa. It's going to be 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, here's a flat pass to Chuba Hubbard. There's 2 men in the zone. Big 3rd down defensive call there by Coach Vince Trivelpiece as he has doubled up the correct flat zone. Panthers go to their own card. Receiver opportunity. Plus 33 on Chuba Hubbard's card. He is down inside the red zone, but he has fumbled the ball. And so it is loose in the Tampa red zone. And let's see who falls on it. Looks like Tampa is on. I'm sorry, it is Carolina. So a 33-yard play there on a flare to Chuba Hubbard. And the Panthers, just like that, at the 15-yard line of Tampa into the red zone. Big play. They want to get 6, though, and not 3. 2 tight end formation. McCaffrey comes in to replace Hubbard. Bucs are showing blitz on this play out of the 3-4 as the safety creeps up close. Defense guesses pass. It's a pass, but he's brought down. Sack on the play. The linebackers were all coming on the all-out blitz, and Shaq Barrett dropped him for a 2-yard loss. So big sack. Good break for Carolina. They only lost 2 on that play. 2nd and 12. at the 17-yard line. Shaq Barrett hitting on a 58% sack. And on 2nd and 12, the Panthers are going to cross things up here and drop into a full house formation. 3-4 is the response from the Bucs here. Still in the red zone at the 17-yard line. So we'll see if Coach Jess Geller's just playing cat and mouse here or if he really intends to run the ball. Defense guesses pass it is. A little flat out to Amir Abdullah out of the backfield. And Abdullah's got himself a yak opportunity, and he's going to get just 1 yard. There is a penalty. That's a personal foul. This one's on Tampa. It's a big one. Inside the 10, 1st and goal at the 8 after that personal foul. First and goal at the 8-yard line for the Panthers. 3 wide receivers are going to split out. McCaffrey's your tailback. Bucs going to operate out of the nickel and guarantee themselves a 4th man in that touchdown zone. Defense gets his pass, but it's a pitch out. McCaffrey around the edge. He's got the corner. Touchdown, Panthers. And with 9:18 to go in the 4th quarter, we game again. Here comes the extra point. Zane Gonzalez is up and good. And that's going to make the score. Buccaneers 16, Panthers 10.
Not missing much in Green Bay. No score. They've been exchanging punts.
They're still there exchanging punts. Still no score over there? Okay, I appreciate the update. Still first quarter?
Yeah, 7-12 left first quarter.
All right. I'm going to hold off a little bit longer then since it's still scoreless, and this has gotten interesting here. Oh, pitch out to Fournette, and the defense guessed run. And Fournette lost 7 yards. And then Carolina gives it away by bringing him down by the face mask. 15-yard penalty. 1st and 10 now, Bucs all the way out to their 45 after that one. Huge play.
Defense, so I've been diving into the dump-offs, as this play goes. Go ahead.
Nope, 10-yard completion there to Chris Godwin. And across midfield.
The further you dive into it, these teams sort of emerge as two of those teams that really live off it. So if you look at it as a percentage of the short passes and long passes that are thrown, either way, offense or defense, possible pick. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Brady almost hit his number, but his interception split roll is kind, to say the least. Go ahead with your point, 2nd and 10.
So if you look at it as a percentage of the short passes and long passes you throw, because, Tampa throws so many short passes that, of course, they're going to get a lot of dump-off opportunities, right?
Yeah.
So if you look, all right, as a percentage of the short and long they throw, how many do they get on a percentage basis? As you have a pass here to Brown. And there's a dump-off.
It's going to be a short pass that is converted to another dump-off right on cue, and a yak opportunity here for the Bucs. Not much doing, just a yard pickup there on the pass play.
And that's one of his better ones.
No, I'm sorry, to who?
Is
to Fournette. Fournette just got that one.
Yeah, one of his B's. Yeah. And these two teams are both top 10 on a percentage basis margin, offense versus defense. These guys find the dump off. These two teams, top 10 in the league.
Well, Panthers are going to desperately want to avoid that here. It's 3rd and 9. They need to stop. Halfway through the 4th quarter, 7:30 mark. They trail by 6. And the Bucs are already at their 44-yard line. Bucs are splitting out 3 wide receivers. Brady in the shotgun. Fournette's the tailback, so certainly that A-rated yak is something you got to respect. And it's another short pass. This time it's Leonard Fournette. He is double teamed. And on the defensive card, it's going to be a incompletion. It was a defender result. He got the 6 on the white die that you want, but as Vince just said on the chat, nice call. Coach Jess Geller double teams him at the clutch moment, and that sets up a 4th and 9 for Tampa at the Carolina 44. And they're going to go ahead and punt. Does not look like they're setting up for a coffin corner.
And just to make that...
And sure enough, that punt, he is coffin cornering it. I missed it. And so that punt goes out of bounds at the 14, and Carolina will take over there down by 6 with 6:54 to go. Go, Anthony.
And just to make that stat a little more relatable, Tampa Bay, out of every short pass and long pass they throw, 1 out of every 4 dropbacks results in a dump off.
Wow.
1 out of every 4.
Wow. That's
which
a
is
lot.
up there.
A lot.
Vegas leads the league at 30%.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Vegas is doing that all the time when I was playing them. First, an off tackle to Chuba Hubbard, and just to pick up a 3 yards as the left tackle could not make the block. Cameron Irving, former Chief, 2nd and 3.
Green Bay's into the red zone.
Okay.
With 3:36 left in the first quarter, scoreless.
There's a short pass. DJ Moore, he's got it. That's a first down, 10 yards. Darnold hitting his card. Panthers 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
So, given all your analysis, it seems like this would be a much more important loss for Tampa than it would be a win for Carolina. Safe to say?
I would say yes, absolutely. Absolutely, because Tampa's really on the verge of capitalizing and putting themselves in a playoff spot, whereas Carolina really needs every single win and a good amount of help. Here's a nice short pass, though, 15 yards. Darnold to Tommy Tremble, his 2nd catch of the game. And just like that, Panthers, who started this drive back near their 10, they're out to the 42-yard line now. Touchdown and extra point would put them on top. Here's a flare to Chuba Hubbard. He is double teamed, and they still got a completion. 5 yards there. Darnold hits his number on his card. So credit Coach Trivelpiece with a nice call there. But it wasn't enough to stop Chuba Hubbard from making his 6th catch in this game. 71 yards receiving now. 2nd and 5, Carolina at their 47. 5:06 to go here. McCaffrey's in at tailback now, and it's an off-tackle run to McCaffrey. And a pickup of 4 yards on the defensive card. There is a penalty. And wipe away that run. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the Bucs. So that's going to march into first down yardage and across midfield at the Tampa 48. And even though you're down by 6, hard to picture a situation where you're going to settle for a field goal once you're under 5 minutes here. 2 tight end formation. Chuba Hubbard. It's going to be your tailback here. Defense gets his pass. It's a run off tackle. Chuba Hubbard, and that's going to be nothing doing. Chuba Hubbard got a 5 on the white die, and that wasn't enough to beat Vita Vea.
Aaron Rodgers, 5 yards to Josiah Deguara. 7-0. If this extra point is good, which it is, 7-0 Green Bay. Late first
quarter?
Late first quarter.
Late first quarter, Green Bay up on Cleveland, 7-0. We'll be going to the remainder of that game when this one finishes. Panthers down 6 and driving with 4:12 to go here. 2nd and 10. Defense gets his pass, and it's a run to the quarterback. Darnold going around the edge, and he is not going to get much. Just a gain of 1 as the left guard could not make the block. So twice on this drive, runs to the left side were stunted by 0-rated left guard and left tackle. 3rd and 9 now for the Panthers at the 47. And this is probably 4-down territory. Sometimes it's tempting to go ahead and punt in this range just to get them deep. Maybe you get a fumble, a lot of things to consider, but I think if he doesn't get sacked here, he's probably going to go for this. 10 yards or less. 4 wide receivers split out here. Bucs dropping the dime. Here comes the blitz, and they've got him. Darnold is down. William Golston with his 3rd sack of this game. Offensive line really killing Carolina on this drive, and with 3 minutes to go, they're punting. 4th and 20 at 2. There's a 45-yard punt. That's down to the 13. Jalen Darden settles underneath it. He's just going to let that bounce. It rolls 6 more. And so it's inside the 10-yard line. So Panthers were not able to get that score they wanted, but they did get a nice punt. But the clock's working against them. 2:24 to go. Panthers have all 3 timeouts.
So that was a choice by Vince to not return.
Was it?
According to the scroll there. Answer punt return, no. Forced punt down. Okay.
Nice catch. I get it. At this point, run clock, the last thing you want to see is a fumble.
With 3 timeouts, though, for your opponent, that's tough. That's a tough choice.
1st and 10 at the 7. Here comes a run up the middle. Leonard Fournette, just a gain of 3. Caught the Panthers guessing pass on that play. And Panthers were pretty lucky that Fournette's card on wrong only got him 3 yards. 2nd and 7 now. Tampa at their 10-yard line. On the other side of the 2-minute warning with 2:06 to go. You might survive 1 first down here, but probably not 2. Depends on how quick they come. 3 wide receivers split out. Panthers staying down in a 4-3. It's a quick slant over the middle to Gronkowski. The defense did guess pass. Yak opportunity for the Gronk. And Gronk is loose into the secondary for Gronk. 35-yard gain. A clutch pickup for Gronk at the 2-minute warning. Tampa is out to the 45-yard line. Gronk got snake eyes on flat pass, 0-man in zone.
And his yak, he got his yak. And he's one of the
yak. That's what I meant. Thank you.
He's such a weapon. He's such a weapon. He's got that yak, and then he's got the
B,
card,
right? Yeah, he's a B-rated yak.
And his card is even better than his yak. I mean, he's a real weapon in the flats.
So 2-minute warning. Bucs now at their own 45, and we really are at the spot now where Panthers, you stop them now or it's over. Gronk now 4 catches, 50 yards in this game. Brady at 243 yards passing. Bucs have outgained them 324 to 281. Lead by 6, 16 to 10. Here comes the first play on this side of the 2-minute warning. Run up the middle to Lenny Fournette. Pick up a 2. Panthers burn their first time out. That was snake eyes. Would have been a 20-yard gain had the Panthers called pass. Coach Geller called run, 2nd and 8. Tampa still on their side of the field at the 47. Minute 52 to go. Guessing game here between Geller and Shrivel Piece about whether he's going to risk Brady passing. He wants to burn all 3 timeouts. Got to stay on the ground to guarantee that. Defense guesses run. Here's the pass. Screen, Lenny Fournette. And that's a pickup of 8 yards and a first down exactly. Move the chains. Panthers take their last timeout. Or their 2nd timeout. But it's 1st and 10 now in Carolina territory at the 45. And that really should do it here. QB sneak. Nothing to do.
12.3 fumble for Brady.
All right, letting them know that they can feel free to get on the broadcast. Let's go ahead and start getting up the other game, shall we?
Cleveland making an approach here to the red zone. 2nd and 10 at the Green Bay 25. as you get that going, I can. Oh, drop pass by Felton. Makes it 3rd and 10.
Oh, we got Cleveland approaching the red zone, trying to tie this one up. We'll keep our eye on that.
Costly drop there for Cleveland. Looks like you have a surface lost over in
Yeah,
Tampa.
it happens sometimes when we open up a pair.
I'll get that one up if you want, just in case something funny happens.
Yeah, why don't you? That'll allow me to close it and maybe simplify our process.
If something crazy happens, I'll let you know.
Yeah, thanks.
But it might be over by the time I get there. Let's see.
Oh, doggone it. I knew it. I closed the wrong one. That's very frustrating. I'm going to go open the Green Bay one back up.
It's 3rd and 4 for Tampa, 52 seconds left at the 39-yard line. No timeouts for Carolina. They cannot end the game here with a kneel down, but get very close. And should leave time for a Hail Mary for Carolina. Unless Tampa goes for it here and converts.
Yeah, well, definitely going to leave you on the case for that one.
Okay. 3 wide for Tampa, 4-3 for Carolina.
A.J. Dillon, a 1-yard run for the Packers. So somehow that Brown drive ended without a score. Let's see. Missed field goal. No, that's the Packers. Yeah, it was a missed field goal for the Browns. Last
So
line
it's
of scrimmage was 23, so they missed a 40-yard field goal. Green Bay stays on top 7-0.
So 4th and 1 now with 8 seconds left, and they're going to punt it.
That's the Bucs punting from where?
Yeah, from their own 40, not blocked. So it goes into the end zone. We have a touchback. With 1 second left, Carolina has to go 80 yards.
DJ Moore. DJ or bust.
4 wide with Tremble in the backfield. Don't know who has the dots here among these receivers to take it all the way.
Oh, I like DJ and Robbie Anderson both as high probability on those.
There's a guy named S. Smith on the field. I doubt that's our Utah grad Steve Smith. Should be Hall of Famer. I'm not sure who is that S. Smith. Shy Smith. Okay.
4-yard pass, not enough for the Packers. They're punting from their 35, up 7-0. And a 51-yard punt that rolls an additional 6 yards, and the Browns will take over inside their 10-yard line.
Still waiting for the play call here from Carolina.
Fair enough. Want to check something here.
And Robbie Anderson is not double teamed. It's incomplete.
That's the final score there.
It's a final 16-10. Tampa wins.
16-10. Tampa wins. They improved to 9-6. And at 6-9, the Panthers will officially be eliminated from postseason contention and officially clinched as a COY participant. By the way, just wanted to highlight here, I had a seeking suspicion, and sure enough, this game we're watching right now between Green Bay and Cleveland features the only 2 defenses averaging less than 306 yards allowed per game. Top 2 defenses in the USFFL.
Cleveland and Green Bay.
There's a screen to Nick Chubb on 1st and 10. The defense was guessing run, so an opportunity here for the Browns. And just a 3-yard gain on the wrong card of receiver for Nick Chubb. So not a good roll. Browns 2nd and 7 at their own 26. 9 minutes left here before halftime. The 12-2 Packers at home here at Lambeau, up on the Cleveland Browns 7-0. Browns with the ball. Here comes a run right at the middle to Nick Chubb. Defense was guessing pass, so an opportunity. And Chubb getting a split roll, 5-yard pickup. Split on the defensive card, needed a 2 through 4, just missed it. And that sets up 3rd down and 2. Cleveland still at their own 31-yard line. Turnover-free game so far. And on 3rd and 2, defense is looking run, but it's a deep ball.
Yeah.
Good call here by Tom Veltri as he's going long to Harrison Bryant, and it's complete. Harrison Bryant's got a 34-yard pickup. There is a penalty, so let's see what that shakes out.
Oh.
And wipe away the gain. A good call by Tom Veltri is nullified by a holding penalty.
It's not a bad matchup for Cleveland. That kind of tells us why. Green Bay is not strong against the run for all their defensive strength. They're 19th in the league, in yards per carry against. So, you can run on this team, and Green Bay might overcompensate, and that would leave long pass wrongs open.
Yeah. Plus, all that running keeps that high-powered Green Bay offense off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Shorten the game. I always like to shorten the game. Make fewer overall plays, fewer overall possessions. And the Cleveland Browns, if they're in an underdog role like they are here, they're built to do that. Here's a draw, but nothing doing. Kareem Hunt.
Looking for those short gains.
Yep. Didn't get it on his card, so the Browns are going to have to punt from their 21-yard line. Not a great punt. 43 yards, fielded at the 36-yard line by Amari Rodgers. He'll return it up to the 40, and the Packers will start there.
We talk all about the strengths of Green Bay, But, one thing that really, I think, snake bit them last year in real life, and might snake come back to bite them in our playoffs, is their special teams.
By the way, I'm going to interrupt you. I'm sorry to introduce Jess Geller to the broadcast. Jess, how we doing tonight?
Hey, Tim. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to kind of keep an eye on this game, and we'll talk a little bit about your game. Obviously, a disappointing result. Talk a little bit about your struggles there against the Bucs tonight.
Yeah, so the usual suspect fumble on 2nd or 3rd drive, sack fumble by Darnold, and then an interception in the 3rd quarter. Both times leading points. So that was that. I'm getting used to it. But
yeah, I noticed you had a couple turnovers, and I know those are killers.
Yeah. So, but it was a fun game. I was happy to kind of hang around and had a shot at the end, and couldn't convert. Ended up getting sacked 4th and 20. Had a punt, never got the ball back. So,
sure.
But Tampa's tough. Tampa's good coach, great run defense, and Darnold can't throw the ball, so it's a bad matchup.
Yeah, talk about the challenge of him throwing the ball in this particular matchup. Talk about your ratio of running to pass.
So I'm just trying to get a little bit. In the 1st quarter, I had him a little off balance because running the ball, Hubbard and McCaffrey back and forth. Got a few nice runs. First drive ended up with the field goal on a long drive. But eventually, if you fall behind, you can't do that, and the penalties will get you. I had 2nd and 25 once. I had 2nd and 20 once. So then you had to go to the short pass, hoping to get a dump off.
And he was.
I got a few of those.
Anthony
good old dump off. So, but no, it was a fun game. It's divisional games are always fun. We know that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, you looked really good. Obviously, it didn't turn out the way you wanted, but one of the things we highlighted and it was brought up earlier in the week is your team, you've played well enough above its carded level that you've clinched your spot in the Coach of the Year tournament, and I believe based on your loss tonight, that's exactly where you're headed because I think you're out of the playoffs now and clinched into the COI, so you'll be representing the NFC in the postseason at the COI tournament.
Yep. Which looking forward to that. Last year I didn't get in, and it's second year in the league, and it's fun. This is a great league, and it's having a blast, man. Having a blast.
That's awesome. Well, we're lucky to have you and all our great coaches in this league. We got a good thing going, and so I appreciate all that you bring to the league, and we'll look forward to seeing your team come COY time.
Absolutely, man.
Hey, Jess.
So, all right. Well, good
Jess,
luck to you. Yep.
could you give us your view on the Giants versus Eagles this week?
So, I said the expression "house money" a few times a couple of weeks ago. I'm not thinking about house money now. I kind of feel a couple of balls bounced away. I think we have a chance of winning. 7.5-point underdog, flawless game. They pretty much played a flawless game against Minnesota.
Yeah,
minus the drop by Slayton and the double 2-man and the man in motion that cost the touchdown. I couldn't even count any other mistakes. Hard to do that 2 weeks in a row, but
you have the right coach for it.
I'm loving the feel of 07 and 11 where the two tackles are putting pressure on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And Lawrence and Williams are like studs in the middle.
Yes.
And Cousins apparently doesn't move. I thought
Lawrence.
he was a little more mobile, but he didn't move. Hurts is going to be a bigger challenge. He's going to move around. So, one thing's for sure is I went there 41 years ago. The Giants played Philly in 1981 at the Vet, and no one gave him a chance. It was the first year after a miserable year before. But Lawrence Taylor and company got them to the wild card, and they won. So that's why we watch the games, and I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, look, the team is gelling, right? I mean, it's as good as the team has played in a while,
right?
And Philadelphia isn't quite gelled. I mean, I think we'll know pretty early. Is this Philadelphia that you faced the first time around, which was a dominant force, right? And have they re-gelled, or are they still trying to figure things out, right? If they're still trying to figure things out versus a very well-gelled Giants team, then the Giants definitely have a shot. If it's both teams playing if both teams playing their best, well, then the Giants probably aren't going to come away.
Yeah, exactly. And Anthony, the first time they played him, Williams, McKinney, and Adoree Jackson were out.
Yep.
So that's three, and those are three big names on the defense. And the other thing too is, if I'm not mistaken, in 2007 when they made their run, I know for a fact they played Dallas in the divisional game, and Dallas had beaten them twice during the year. I think it's hard to beat an NFL team 3 times with good coaching. I think the Giants have good coaching. It gets more and more challenging each time, and we put that all together. Be competitive and be in the fourth quarter, kind of like my game I just had right now, and anything can happen.
Yeah, and it's Green Bay is going to start off in plus territory here. It's that second game people will tend to disregard, right? But I think you probably watched it. It was a feisty game. I mean, it was feisty. I think if anything, I think we are really looking at a third matchup here, despite the fact the Giants didn't really try. It was feisty, and I think it carries over to this game.
Yeah, for sure. And Hurts is the shoulder. I don't really know. He was rusty against us. That was his last game. He's only played one game in the last 4 weeks. Yeah. So I'm not sure what
I think that's
condition he's
a factor.
in. But we'll know, like Anthony, like you said, we'll know like in that first quarter, or if they come out, the first 2 drives end up with 10 or 14 points, it's gonna be a long night.
Yep. Agree.
So enjoy the games, enjoy the weekends of football. And Tim, you're back in action.
Yes, I have a game tomorrow night.
And then you have a game Saturday at 4:30.
Yes, I do, and that's interesting. My girlfriend's 50th birthday is Saturday, and she called me a week or so ago and said, "Hey, I bought tickets to a bed and breakfast. We're going to go out for the." So we had to have a conversation. I have this awesome girlfriend now, where we're going to a bed and breakfast for the weekend. But on Saturday at 3:30, we're watching the Chiefs.
Okay, that's good.
Listen. I just got done. I just came out of a marriage where my wife never even was in the room if I was watching. It was always a bitter thing. I could never just enjoy games. Now she sat and watched games with me, and now we're going to watch Chiefs playoffs during the bed and breakfast. Hey, that's the only way I could have gone. I got to be honest.
Good for you.
Priorities, fellas. Priorities.
Yes. I could give you stories on another day. All right. Take care, guys.
I'll
take
it. So what do we got here? We have almost the 2-minute warning here. 2:06 to go before half. Cleveland's hanging in here with a tough Green Bay team. They're down 7-0. Green Bay, first down pass. Randall Cobb from Aaron Rodgers out of bounds at the Cleveland 29-yard line, and we have reached the 2-minute warning here in this interconference matchup between a couple of division leaders.
Take us back to full screen if you'd like.
Oh, yes, thank you. Appreciate the reminder. All right, we are in business. Well, Rodgers, 12 of 14 so far. So he's looking good. 2-yard run there by A.J. Dillon. 2nd and 8. Wow. We talked about how these teams both have great defenses. Green Bay just 146 yards here right before halftime. And if you think that's bad, Cleveland has 62. Turnover-free game so far. And on 2nd and 8 at Cleveland's 27. Coach Scott Miller has his Packers with 3 wide receivers split out here. Nickel blitz coming from the Browns. It's a square-in pass. And Randall Cobb has it for 6 yards. That's going to set up 3rd down and 2. Just outside of the red zone at the 21-yard line. So big play in this one as Cleveland fighting to keep them at a field goal attempt here. Green Bay 3 for 6 on first downs. Cleveland 1 for 6 on third downs. One of the differentiators here in the first half. 60 seconds left here in the first half. 3rd and 2. Packers at the 21 of Cleveland. Kind of surprised Cleveland didn't take a timeout there. On the hopes of making a stop on this play. All-out blitz by the defense. It's a button hook to an open zone and incomplete anyway. As it goes to Rodgers' card on the right column. And sure enough, we've got a 4th and 2 at the 21.
And this is when Jess joined, we were about talking about the special teams. I mean, this is a tough spot for Green Bay. And if anything gets them in the playoffs, it's going to be this right here. Check Crosby something like 2 through 6. It's ridiculous.
I'm looking right at it. Yeah, from here at the
right here
at the 21-yard line where he is, it's 2 through 8.
Yeah.
But if he loses even a couple yards here and gets to the 23, that's a 2 through 6, 12.
Yep.
So when you're staring at a 4th and 2 here, Anthony, you got to consider going for it, right?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I remember when I played this team, I remember seeing those field goal ranges and thinking I've got to keep that in mind and try to utilize that to my advantage. And sure enough, here's an opportunity for Cleveland to keep him scoreless because he is going for it 4th and 2. 3 wide receivers split out.
He's been throwing short in this situation.
Aaron Rodgers is great on short wrong, so if you can get him thinking a run, and he does have A.J. Dillon as the tailback.
Would he throw short against the blitz and when he's going 3 wide, though? That would be...
It is a slant indeed. Mercedes Lewis must run, though, and Rodgers scrambles for the first down. Pick up a 7. Down to the 14-yard line. Timeout Packers, 45 seconds left here. Green Bay still with 2 timeouts.
So, scanning the card, the Green Bay special teams card. I mean, the kicker is the major weakness. And the return game is not good, especially punt returns. Yep. But it's not going to kill you. We're not talking Denver level here of return coverage. And the returners are not going to help, but they're also not fumbling on 10 or anything.
Nickel blitz shown here by the defense. They guess pass, but it's a draw and nothing doing as A.J. Dillon goes nowhere. Couldn't get the roll by the offensive onside guard. 6 on the white dice. Stop that play. Second timeout for Green Bay. 37 seconds left. 1 timeout remaining. Green Bay 2nd and 10 at the Cleveland 14. Tom Veldry keeping the pressure on with that safety blitz being shown here out of the nickel formation.
It's got a 7 on Myles Garrett. So that helps.
Listen, they lead the league in sacks, and a sack here. We already talked about where that puts you as far as field goal range, and that's why it's a little hitch here. Double-teamed receiver, but it is caught. Equiminius St. Brown was correctly double-teamed by Coach Veltri. Nice call. And a 4-yard pickup here. 3rd and 6 at the 10-yard line. Now down to 15 seconds left. I think that was a hurry-up offense, if I'm not mistaken. Green Bay still has 1 timeout left. So 15 seconds, 1 timeout. 3rd and 6 Packers at the 10-yard line. They're up 7-0 just before halftime, trying to add on. 3 wide receivers. Randall Cobb in the slot. Nickel blitz coming here from the Browns. Rodgers now 14 of 17 in this game. Good first half.
Mm-hmm.
Still waiting on the play call from Coach Scott Mueller. He's going to try to run it in, draw, and it's going to be a pickup of just 2 yards to Anthony Dillon. 4th and 4. He's going to probably burn that last time out here.
So inside the 12, he goes up to 2 through 11. So it's got to be quite the bad variable to knock him down 2 through 8.
So 4th and 4 from the 8. 2 through 11 field goal is good. As the gun goes off here, Lambeau Field. Defensive battle between the top 2 defensive teams in the league. Only 2 teams allowing under 310 yards per game. And at halftime, Packers 10, Browns nothing.
And Packers getting the ball. And that was a key question.
Packers outgained him in the first half, 165-62. So you put that together, and these are teams that averaged 110 for the first half. Kickoff is deep into the end zone, and the Packers will take the touchback and start the second half at their 25. Cleveland not built to come from way behind. Not only down 10-0, no problem, but it's important they keep it close and keep that running game paramount in their attack. Coach Mueller coming out here second half with 3 wide receivers split out. Coach Veltri stays aggressive with the blitz from his safety. Nickel formation. It's going to be an off-tackle run. A.J. Dillon and a nice pickup, 15 yards. And correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony, that box there on the defensive result added 10 yards because of the linebacker not being in the zone behind?
Yep. I didn't see the formations.
Is that or was it I can't remember, was it a draw maybe?
It's about the linebackers.
Okay, about
or,
the linebacker.
Or who's in zone behind. Is it occupied?
Regardless, a pickup of 15. Packers out to their 40 now. Here's another run right up the middle to A.J. Dillon, and it's a short gain and more. A.J. Dillon, let's see what he's got here. He's across midfield, pickup of 15. A.J. Dillon, 11 carries, 58 yards here.
For all of Green Bay's running, they like all their passing. They like to run on first down. 7th in the league at running on 1st and 10. 14th overall, so it's heavily biased to running on first, and we saw 2 first down runs there.
Trend breakers.
And who gets a break?
A flat pass to Mercedes Lewis on wrong. Just a pickup of 3 yards. There's a bad roll on the yak chart. Caps
you can feel Tom's pain there. You know, he's chasing the last couple of plays, calling the run there, and of course he gets the pass, but he gets bailed out by the yak.
2nd and 7 now at the Cleveland 42-yard line. Nickel blitz still here from the defense. They keep that safety up close. Here's a dump pass to Cobb for 16 yards. 0 men in that flat. 6 on the white die. 1st and 10 now at the 26-yard line.
Pretty important for the Cleveland defense to tighten here. You don't want to get down 3 scores.
Yeah, I think if they can hold them to a field goal attempt, this field goal would keep it at 10. Or even a made field goal keeps it at 13-0. You're just 1 score away. So, but yeah, I think if they're down 17-0, that's a big ask against this Green Bay team. 1st and 10, square and pass, 6-yard pickup to Randall Cobb.
That's a healthy pickup against the 6th guest right.
As Cobb gets his 6th catch of the game for 58 yards.
Green Bay throwing
now
looking.
At the 20-yard line. And here on that bridge of the field goal range going into the insanely bad Cleveland defense, keeping the blitz on from the safety. Guessing pass, but it's a run right up the middle. Aaron Jones, and he's got himself a nice pickup. Taking advantage again of the boxes on the defensive card. And that's going to be a 14-yard gain.
So he had a man in zone, but he went from a 4-3 to a 3-4. You need 2 men in there to get your 1 linebacker, and that's what got him.
Appreciate that clarification. 1st and goal now at the 6-yard line. Full house formation from the Packers. Cleveland stays with the safety blitz out of the 4-3 this time.
Love to
pitch
run
out
here.
Around the edge to Aaron Jones, and he's got it. Touchdown, Packers. 6-yard touchdown run on Snake Eyes on the defensive card.
Oh, the helplessness. The helplessness you feel on D right there. Tom is just...
Yeah, you've got everybody stacked up the middle, and he hits Snake Eyes going around the end.
Well, the entirety of the drive, just a really well-played drive. Yeah, Scott had him on his heels the entire time. Tom finally catches up, gets the guest right run call on an end run, no less. And it goes to the Snake Eyes, no men.
7 plays, 75 yards for the touchdown. As the Packers are now up 17-0 in this one. 11:24 to go here in the 3rd quarter. You got to stay with the run here.
Well, I mean, defensively, right, is kind of a key question. There's a long pass.
And as soon as I said that, deep ball to Harrison Bryant, and he caught the defense guessing run, and it's incomplete. Bad roll on the receiver card.
Bryant's not going to...
So tell me what you were saying before.
It's a long game for Peoples-Jones there. I think the question is, what's Scott going to do on D? Is he still going to call run or not? That's the question. And he came out and made a statement. And look at this. And this time it's Peoples-Jones. Guess wrong.
Again, back-to-back, long pass wrong, incomplete again. So down, as soon as you fall down 17, you think you got to hurry back. And Cleveland, give Tom Veltri credit, back-to-back long passes against run defense, coming out strong, just, I guess, trend breaking, figuring that's exactly what his opponent's going to think. But he just doesn't get the payoff, and it's 3rd and 10 as he missed them both.
See, when you're facing a good coach, you figure the coach is not going to all of a sudden guess pass all the time. And Tom knows he's facing a good coach, and he's not going to guess pass all the time just because he's up 17.
Right. Yep.
Oh, just misses.
There's a little dump pass outside, 9-yard pickup.
Gotta go.
Just not quite enough for that 1st down. So, Interesting decision here for Cleveland. 4th and 1 at their own 34. And very quickly, Tom Veltri marches his offense right up to the line of scrimmage here. Blocking back formation, Kareem Hunt is the tailback. 3-4 here by the Packers. And I would expect to run when you got the 6-5-6 blockers up the middle. It is short yardage defense. Run up the middle, Kareem Hunt. And he's got himself a 1st down. 2-yard pickup on the defensive card. And a huge conversion here in this game.
Tom is one of those that likes to cross you up on 4th and short. He's up at the top of the league in short and long passes on a percentage basis. But he goes run there and gets it.
Big 4th down conversion for a team that's just 1 for 7 on 3rd downs.
Oh.
And from their 36 and nothing doing on a run by Chubb. Had an opportunity on his card wrong, but hit that 5. Everyone hates 2nd and 10. As the dice failed him there. Getting to the mid-third quarter, Nick Chubb just 6 carries for 16 yards. Guesses run. It's a flat pass. Opportunity to convert a first down maybe to Demetric Felton. And he does indeed. 13-yard reception.
Felton redeeming himself. He dropped the ball. Same situation. 2nd and 10 from Green Bay's 25-yard line. That's the drive where they came up empty on the missed field goal.
Well, he gets a big one here to move the chains, keep this one moving. Cleveland out near midfield now at their 49. Here comes a run right up the middle to Nick Chubb. And with a couple linebackers in the zone, they're going to sniff that out for a 3-yard pickup only. 2nd and 7.
Really great cat and mouse here when Cleveland has the ball.
Yeah, the extremes are so much scarier for a team that has a breakaway runner like Chubb.
Yep.
Here's a pitch out to Chubb. Defense did guess run, and it's going to be a pickup of just 2 yards there. The left tackle could not make the block for Cleveland. And that's actually Jedrick Wills, so that's actually their starter. But just not a good run blocker. Cost him here 3rd and 5 at Green Bay's 40. Chubb back in the game. 3 wide receivers split out here for Cleveland. I think we got to get more attempts for Chubb. I don't know, though. Every time I say that, Packers keep calling run. Coach Veltri not getting the best of the dice. Here's another opportunity. 3rd and 5. Defense guessing run. Short pass. Jarvis Landry. This one's complete. Mayfield's got Jarvis Landry for a 12-yard pickup. Down to the 34.
I don't think we've had a chance to touch on it, but we've seen a lot of Case Keenum. Mayfield's in there. It looks like Keenum's out this game. I don't know if it's overuse or actual injury, but Keenum's not an option.
Yeah, I think that it's been by design based on what I've seen. I think he's just managing. Looks like the field goal range is 22-yard line is your target to have a decent shot at a field goal. Here's a deep ball attempt, but he's going to be forced out of the pocket. Flush, and here comes a dump. Nick Chubb, nice pickup, 9 yards. 2nd and 1 now. Cleveland at the 25-yard line of the Packers.
2nd in the league in long passes here.
Here comes the 11th play of this drive. Longest drive of the game. Here's a deep ball to Peoples-Jones, and that's going to be a touchdown. Caught the defense guessing run. That saved him from the blitz. And a 6 on the white die beats the defense. Mayfield finds Peoples-Jones in the end zone for a 25-yard score. Extra points good by McLaughlin. New ball game, 17-7. Packers still on top by 10, 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. So aggressive approach on that drive after falling down 17-0 pays off for Tom Veltri, right, Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, he's 2nd in the league in long passes on 2nd and short. Showed up right there. And these guys are playing to their tendencies so far. Let's see if Cleveland come up with a stop here and start guessing right. He's been feasting on the defensive boxes. Jones now in there instead of Dillon. Interesting, though. Here he comes.
He's going to run Jones right up the middle. Do a pass defense just to gain a 1 yard as Jones hits that 5 on his card. 2nd and 9. Seattle Seahawks already on the board with a victory this week. Slipped by against the Chicago Bears. Packers need this win to keep pace with them. Here's a deep ball again. Devontae Adams and incomplete. Caught the defense of the Browns guessing run. So a great opportunity there for Aaron Rodgers.
Boy, so 2 big guessed wrong opportunities. 2 big and gets a yard.
Oh, yes. Aaron Jones on that +1 on wrong. And boy, this long pass wrong, that is gorgeous. But he didn't hit the roll. 3rd and 9 now for the Packers. Nickel blitz coming here. Back to pass, looking short to Devontae Adams. Rodgers on his card, and actually it's going to be wiped away on a penalty. Back him up 5 yards, and now Aaron Rodgers is staring at a 3rd and 14.
And you can see that short pass card there, Rodgers. There's no 14 there.
Yeah, exactly. There's no plus 14 on his card. You can look to get that on the receiver's card. I know Adams probably Adams is at 12.6.
And 2 receivers are out for Green Bay. He's got his
inside run draw. He's going to try to get it the old-fashioned way. Right up the middle, Aaron Jones. 14 yards. Gets exactly what he needs.
Tom bangs the table right there. We can feel the bang from here, Tom.
Once again, catching the boxes on the defensive card for exactly the yardage needed. Packers 1st and 10 at their 35.
So Aaron Jones's dreaded 5 on first down for +1 instead of no gain pays off.
There's a hitch over the middle. Good for 15.
Come back.
But that's going to be wiped away. Another penalty by the Packers. It's holding. Wipes away a good play on that one. It's 1st and 20 back at their own 25.
You want this ball before the quarter expires if you're Cleveland.
If you're Cleveland, yeah, I think that's exactly right. 4:12 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Cleveland down by 10. I think Anthony's right. You're really targeting getting possession, still down by 10 before you get to that 4th quarter.
Or even 13. You could live with that as long as you get it back.
1st and 20 here. Nickel blitz brought again by Cleveland. Tom Velcher going to keep tempting him. All out blitz by the linebacker, screen to an empty zone. And A.J. Dillon is the target. Yak opportunity, and he's got himself 13 yards. So he gets that penalty yardage back and more and sets up a 2nd and more manageable 2nd and 7 at the 38-yard line.
More tendencies there, 6th in the league in flat passing on 1st and forever for Green Bay, and they play right to it.
Indeed, they do. Dillon stays in the game here on 2nd down. And they're going to hand it to him right up the middle again. Just a pickup of 2. Left guard could not make the block. And it's 3rd and 5 at the 40-yard line. Packers a little better on 3rd down today than the Browns have been. 4 of 9. 44%.
Green Bay does a great job of play calling here. Spread out.
That play call is going to be a short pass here to Randall Cobb. He's flushed out of the pocket, and Rodgers is looking to his tight end, Tunyon, on the defensive card. He's got a 7-yard pickup. 0-minute zone, 1st down at the 47 for the Packers.
Well, 3 plays for every 1st down is not going to get you the ball back quickly.
It's also going to move a lot of clock.
That's right. It's not going to get you the ball back fast.
8 plays already on this drive, and they're not even across midfield. 1st and 10 at the 47. Rodgers, 19 of 23, high percentage for a modest 132. Here's a run. A.J. Dillon for 2 yards up the middle.
And avoids the boxes. Tom cheers.
That he does. A.J. Dillon stays in on 2nd and 8. He's the leading rusher for the Packers in this one, 13 for 62. And on 2nd and 8, defense gets his pass. Here comes the draw up the middle. A.J. Dillon's got himself a short gain again. Big gainer for 19 yards. A.J. Dillon down to the 32 of Cleveland. 1st and 10. 5.8 per carry today for A.J. Dillon. Keeping him honest. And now Cleveland still kind of keeping him on the edge of that field goal range. Still got to get inside that 20s to have a real good shot. Here's an off tackle to Aaron Jones for 8 yards.
Catches the one white die.
Ugh.
but gets his best result, +8.
One on the white die, like Anthony said, converted that to the right column, and he's still got +8. 2nd and 2. Packers at the 24 of Cleveland. Final seconds coming up here on the third quarter of the play. Run up the middle, and just a 2-yard gain. Patrick Taylor, more of a pass blocker specialist, but he gains 2 yards on that play. Move the chains again. 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 22. Packers now 4 first downs on this drive. Still 3 wide receivers split out. Defense guesses run, but it's a hitch over the middle to Equimania St. Brown. It's incomplete as St. Brown could not find a completion on wrong on his card. That's going to be the end of the third quarter here at Lambeau Field. Scott Mueller and his Green Bay Packers still up by 10 points on the Browns and Tom Veltri 17-7. Packers on the edge of the red zone, 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line. Browns need to hold them to a field goal here. Keep this a 2-score game. Defense guessing run it is. Right up the middle to Aaron Jones. Pick up at just 2. Right guard, Royce
Third down.
Make the block. Go ahead.
Another chance to get off the field. 3rd and 8. I don't know how many. We have 3 third down conversions so far in this drive, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Green Bay.
Big play because it's not good field goal range.
That's a good point. Might be why he might run it here or dump it. We'll see. He does split out 3 receivers. Dillon is your tailback. Nickel blitz from Cleveland. And indeed, it is a dump. Quick out to Josiah DeGara, and it's a 6-yard pickup. Not enough for the first down. It does get him inside to a more guaranteed field goal range. 4th and 2 at the 14-yard line.
2 through 8 here.
He's going for this. What do you think of the call, Anthony?
Well, I mean, 2 through 8, 12. It's.
I think it's at least borderline. I can understand it either way.
Yeah, it's fine.
Looks like a good call on offense. Short pass, but it's going to be incomplete. It was a short pass on wrong, and it ended up going to the defensive card on an interception split roll, so it was almost picked. But it turns out to be incomplete, fail on the conversion, and the Browns, with a big break, take over, still down by 10, 17-7, 1st and 10 at their own 14, just under 14 minutes to go in this one.
And that's in the playoffs. I mean, that's what I think about, and I'm sure a lot of people, I'm sure Scott's thinking about it. I mean, those are the plays that could sink the Packers with this great team in the playoffs. You're forced into these 4th downs where it's like, all right, I'll go for it. Like I said, it's fine. Like you're not happy about going for it there,
Right.
and it's still a 10-point game. It's.
Yeah, I think I like kicking it there. The difference between 10 and 13 is a lot this into the 4th quarter. I probably would have kicked it, but I get it. I think I can understand it either way. Ooh, here's a short gain run. Chubb up the middle for 15. Defense actually guessed run, and Chubb on a dice roll of 7 hits the short gain on right column. And he's got Cleveland out to the 30-yard line, 1st and 10.
Crosby just picked a really bad year to have probably his worst card in his entire 18-year career.
Who are we talking about again?
Crosby.
The kicker, Mason Crosby, yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Another run up the middle to Chubb. Defense guessed pass. Chubb right back to his card and right back to the 7. Another short gain, 12 yards. Move the sticks again. 1st and 10 out to the 42. And after back-to-back short gains by Nick Chubb here in the 4th quarter, he still has just 11 carries, 49 yards in this game.
That's his longest carry so far of the day.
I suppose the good news of that is you can really run. You can work that horse now if you want to. He's got the defense thinking, Chubb, they guess run, but here comes the pass. Sideline, flat for 9 yards to Demetric Felton. That makes it 2nd and 1. Now into Green Bay territory at the 49-yard line.
So we saw the long pass last time on second and short. I don't know if he's gonna let him have it this time.
Chubb's the tailback. So that's your bait if you want to do it. Defense guesses run. The bait works. Deep ball to the tight end again. Harrison Bryant goes to the defensive card, hits the interception split roll, and got the dice to vex him. Picked off by the Packers at about the 15-yard line. Big bad break there for the Cleveland Browns. Rashawn Gary picks that one off in the red zone at the 18-yard line, it turns out. So a great call by Tom Veltri, set up right by you, Anthony. You called it, and he found his opportunity, and yet again, the dice failed him on a long pass wrong. First and 10 at the 18. Packers, quick slant to Tunyon, and there's a quick 10. Packers out to the 28-yard line. 10.5 minutes left in this one. Still just a 10-point game. Cleveland very much in it. But that was a killer interception. Here's a quick slant again. And it's incomplete. Interception split roll on the defensive card. But needed snake eyes for double sixes. Second and 10. Green Bay still with 3 wide receivers. Coach Veltri still showing that safety up close out of the nickel. And here comes a short pass to Randall Cobb, and that's going to be a long gain as Cobb hits the crosshairs on that blitz, and Cobb is going to be inside the 20 to the 19. A 53-yard play from Aaron Rodgers as he goes over 200 yards passing. And the Packers move into the red zone of the Browns. And we've been saying all day that Coach Veltri has been tempting the Packers with that safety up close all day. And eventually that crosshairs got hit. And a 53-yard gain has the Packers on the doorstep of another score. Quick slant to the tight end, Tunyon, and he's going to be incomplete. Second and 10.
Scott insisting on throwing that look-in pass. It's against that 6. He's fourth. If you take a look at how often does somebody throw look-in versus flat when they go in the flats, Green Bay's fourth in the league at throwing look-ins. And even with a 6 there, still throwing look-ins.
Well, he's trying to avoid the flat pass interception, that tells me. That's interesting. Good nugget. Here's a run up the middle to A.J. Dillon. Nothing doing as Cleveland guesses run. Good call, Coach Veltri. And it's 3rd and 10 at the 19. So Cleveland not only got the interception on wrong, they get this 53-yard long pass on a short that got the crosshairs. But here they are, 3rd and 10 at the 19. If they can get a stop here, force a field goal, still more than 8.5 minutes left. They're very much in this game. They need this stop here, 3rd and 10 at the 19.
Yeah, field goal attempt.
That's exactly right, especially from that point on the field. Great point. They're still showing the blitz. They're going to get past defensively, but it's a draw up the middle. Just a 2-yard pickup, but penalty, face mask, Cleveland, and a devastating penalty at that. 1st and goal now. Packers at the 8-yard line. 8:24 left to go in this one. And a touchdown here really does look devastating. Full house formation now by the Packers. Browns into the 4-3. Here comes an off tackle left. And it's going to be a pickup of 5 yards. Aaron Jones, the right guard, was able to make the block on that one. 2nd and goal at the 3.
That's Runyon, who's a 0. He got boosted to the 4 because of the full house. And the 4 white dice shows up.
Oh, nice catch. Same call, off tackle, Aaron Jones. And he's got a touchdown. Once again, hits right on his column, and it didn't matter as he gets the +8. And from 3 yards out, Aaron Jones with his second rushing touchdown in this game. And the Green Bay Packers have extended to a 24-7 lead exactly halfway through the fourth quarter here at home against Cleveland.
I'll be right back.
And we might even be locked up here after this kick. And when I see that screen, it tells me that whether they're locked up or not, I am. So let's back out here. And let's bring that game back up. Hope they're still using the same game number. All right, we are right back in game. Here's a short pass and a 13-yard pickup for Baker Mayfield. Move the chains. Under 7 minutes to go here in this one. Cleveland trailing by 17 points. So that's really a tall task in any situation, and particularly against, the top defense in the entire USFFL. Mayfield back to pass, looking deep for Felton, and that's going to be a 25-yard pickup. There is a penalty, personal foul, so tack on 15 more. That's a heck of a break there. Long pass went to the defensive card and got a result of receiver, and the only possible completion for Demetric Felton was on an 11, and sure enough, he dropped an 11, 25-yard pickup, tack on 15 for the personal foul. And just like that, the Browns are 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line of the Packers. And they're going deep again. Baker Mayfield looking to Donovan Peoples-Jones. Got the defense guessing a run, but it's intercepted in the end zone. Baker Mayfield picked off on long pass wrong for the second time here in the fourth quarter. Darnell Savage on the pick. And after the touchback, the Packers take over at their own 20. And for all intents and purposes, that is probably going to do it here. The middle, nothing doing, 2nd and 10. Aaron Jones could not beat linebacker John Johnson on that one. So 5 minutes, 42 seconds left to go in this one. Green Bay with the ball and a 17-point lead. Short pass, Randall Cobb, that's complete. And an 11-yard pickup, 1st and 10 again. Packers out to the 31. Green Bay has outgained Cleveland now 400 to 212. And we have a quick slant to Mercedes Lewis, and that's going to be a big gain. That's a 23-yard pickup. It was actually a long gain on Snake Eye Zero Men. Could have been 54 yards, but with Mercedes Lewis, the old dog, capped it at 23. Nevertheless, Packers across midfield now at the Cleveland 46-yard line as they're in the process of salting this one away. Here's an off tackle to Patrick Taylor. Pick up a 5.
So I missed it. Was that Mayfield interception on whose card?
Yeah, Baker Mayfield got a long pass on right that went to the receiver card, and the only completion was on 11, and he got it. And a personal foul tacked on 15 more, got him down to the 22. Very next play, he throws long pass again. This time, defense guesses run, so he gets another long pass wrong opportunity and throws an interception in the end zone.
Mm-hmm. And I
so that's
noticed
2 long pass wrong interceptions in the fourth quarter. That really just kind of proved to be the difference in this one at the end. I don't want to say the difference because they were behind either way, but it certainly put the cap on any attempts they had to get this sneak out of Lambeau with a win.
Yep.
those kind of big breaks are just the things you cannot have when you're playing a team carded like these Packers are carded.
Yep. And Cleveland looks like they're going to be sackless this game, which is a big deal for Cleveland.
But like I say, I got to give him credit. I thought he called a much better game offensively, at least with his timing on those long passes, than really the dice allotted him in this one.
Yep. Agree.
Possibly he could have run more. I've been wondering that, but I really haven't looked at the stats on that. Let's see. Mayfield, 21 attempts, and he ran it, if you take Mayfield out, 17 times. So the ratio maybe could have run more into a defense that is weaker against the run. But certainly his play mix I really liked. I thought he made some good calls.
There's that 7 again.
Yeah, sure enough. Baker Mayfield, long pass wrong. I'm not exactly sure why the Packers would be calling run at this point, but it's an incomplete pass.
So what does this do for the Chiefs' playoff chances?
Well, I guess I would say at this point it helps from a standpoint of any loss to an AFC team is helpful. So Cleveland leads the division at 7-6-1. This is going to make them 7-7-1. And so like the Ravens are 7-7. So really kind of I look at this through the lens of Cleveland is the team that has the tie. And so because they have the tie, I don't mind them losing this game because I can win a tiebreak against other teams where I can't against Cleveland. So, and I've already beat, for example, Baltimore. And I still play Pittsburgh and Cincinnati the next 2 weeks. So, and those are wins I'm going to have anyway if I'm going to get anywhere. So, Cleveland losing, I think, is a good thing in this game. If all you care about is the Kansas City Chiefs, like I know all 32 coaches in this league do.
Yes.
No, but to the larger point, the same really I think is true for most of those AFC wild card contenders that we can look at here. You're seeing this right now, right?
Sorry, I was watching the. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, there it is. Just want to make sure it was seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, same as it helps me, and for all my talk about that, really, I think Cleveland losing. I think that's good news if you are really anybody south of Cleveland over here. All these teams. It's good news for.
For sure.
Yep. Not good news for Cleveland. But, at 7-7-1, Cleveland's still in very good shape to still compete for both the division and to compete for a wild card. So still not a bad position overall for Tom Veltri. 13-yard pass as the Browns are actually on the doorstep. 30 seconds left in this one. Teams are leaving their timeouts on the board. So we're not trying to come back for the victory here. We're just kind of playing out the string. But it is 1st and goal on the 4 for the Browns. I'll invite both coaches on in case they want to. There's a 0-yard run unless somebody calls a timeout. And they do. So Cleveland is, now that they're down at the 4, I get it. Now that you're down at the 4, you're like, I'd like to see if I can punch it in. Defense guesses run, short pass to Austin Hooper. And Baker Mayfield has just thrown his 3rd interception of the game. I say Baker Mayfield, but that was actually Nick Mullins. Off the bench, performing no better here in the 4th quarter than Mayfield did. And Jordan Love takes a knee. And the final in Lambeau moved to 13-2 by winning at home, 24-7 over the Cleveland Browns, who came in as the AFC North division leader. And we will have to remain to be seen if they're still the division leader when the week is over. I believe that really comes down to the Baltimore Ravens result later this week. Coaches are congratulating one another. And to that question, for those that might be curious and listening, Baltimore Ravens later this week, a big division game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Probably an elimination game there if you're the Bengals. So that's going to be a big game. And if the Ravens win it, they will take the division lead. And that's a that would be a big development for a Ravens team that I know opened the season slow. I think maybe 2-6. Looks like 1-5 anyway. So the Ravens started 1-5, and if they win this week, they can take the division lead. So that's pretty impressive right there. Give me a second here. Sorry. All right, I was just checking to make sure we didn't have any coaches there yet.
That's a rematch for Cincy and Baltimore of a game that came down to a 2-point play with, I think, no time on the clock. Cincinnati went for 2 and did not get it. I think they had guessed wrong, short pass, went to the tight end's card, and he dropped it. Guessed wrong, if I remember correctly. So it should be a good rematch there, Cincy Baltimore.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. I don't think we have yet a scheduled time on that game, so we'll just have to keep an eye for it. I will, of course, as I referenced during broadcast, be out of pocket when the time comes this weekend. So I won't be able to broadcast it all there, but we'll keep an eye on it just in case and see if maybe we have the opportunity to broadcast that later in the week, because that is definitely going to be a big game.
I hope it's not tomorrow night. The dance card's full tomorrow night.
Yeah, dance card is definitely full. You and I both have our games tomorrow night, so it is what it is. So I guess we're going to wrap it up here. I'm not seeing any coaches yet. So your final score here is the Green Bay Packers 24, Cleveland Browns 7. As the Packers keep pace with the Seahawks, who won earlier this week, the battle for the number 1 seed in the NFC. And Cleveland picks up an important loss and opens up the door for Baltimore to win this week against the Bengals and assume the division lead in the AFC North. That wraps it up here. We'll keep an eye on the action again tomorrow night. Thanks for watching, and the USFFL rolls on.